for problem B, there was a little bit of a typo. So please make sure that you change the sign of the 3x to be negative 3x so that the problem is still factorable. So we're going to start by grouping our first two terms, and then we're going to group our second two terms. Make sure that you include the negative sign inside of your parentheses. So we're going to factor out the GCF between 27x to the third power and 45x squared. So the GCF ends up being 9x squared. And then we're going to factor out the GCF between negative 3x and negative 5, which ends up being negative 1. So we put the 9x squared outside of the parentheses, and then we end up with 3x plus 5 inside. That's what we get when we divide. The negative 1 goes outside of the parentheses, and then we end up with 3x plus 5 inside of the parentheses. Make sure that when you get to this point, you have the same thing inside of both parentheses. So then we end up with 9x squared minus 1 times 3x plus 5 equals 0. Okay, we can actually expand this 9x squared minus 1 because this is the difference of two squares. So it actually factors out to 3x minus 1 times 3x plus 1, and then we end up with 3x plus 5 equals 0. So then we have our three binomials that are completely factored. So then we do, this is our factor form. Then we use our zero product property, which will be 3x minus 1 equals 0. And 3x plus 1 equals 0. 3x plus 5 equals 0. So we end up with our solutions. We have 1 over 3, negative 1 over 3, and 5 over 3.